Ladies and gentlemen, we've made it to the end of the NFL season. It seems like it was just yesterday I was making the week 1 predictions video. We're on to week 18. Let's get right into it here. Starting off with our 2 Saturday games. The first one up, we have the Cleveland Browns in Baltimore to take on the Ravens. This one's a no-brainer. The Ravens need this game if they want a shot at that division title. I'm taking the Ravens all day long. Moving on to the next game. This one is at Saturday at 8 o'clock at night. We have the Cincinnati Bengals in Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. Now, again, this one is a big game. Both teams have a ton to play for. Again, the Steelers are already in the playoffs, but a win would give them the division. A loss and a Ravens win would give the Ravens the division, so they really want to win here for seeding and that home field advantage. And the Cincinnati Bengals are hanging on by a thread, but there's a scenario where if they were to win, the Dolphins were to lose, and the Broncos were to lose, they are in. So they really need this game as well. Pittsburgh's on a slide right now. I'm going to take the Bengals on the road. Call me crazy, but I don't know. They need this game, I think, a little bit more, right? Their playoffs are hanging by a thread right now, whereas the Steelers, even with the loss, they still get the win. And again, that Steelers team, the offense has been shaky, but that defense was solid. All of a sudden, that defense doesn't look as good. So, again, I think they'll get it figured out by the playoffs, but this game, I see Cincinnati going in there and pulling off the upset. We'll see what happens, though. Now let's move on to our Sunday slate. First game on Sunday, we have the Panthers at the Falcons. I'll take the Falcons here. Falcons coming off a kind of hectic back and forth game. They had a shot to win it, but the Panthers are pretty much wrapped up for the year, so I will take the Falcons in that one. Moving on to the Houston Texans in Tennessee. I would assume the Texans are going to be playing some backups in this one. Again, seeding isn't really a factor. I think they've locked up the 4 seed at this point. So I will take the Titans, who will have their starters in, to win this game. Again, the Texans don't care about this one. The Titans probably don't care either. And, if you're a Titans higher up or, GM, front office guy, you probably want a loss to get that draft pick. You still have a potential at that number 1 pick if the Patriots were to win. So I'm still going to take the Titans, though, because the Texans are going to be selling and not really caring about this one. And the players, they don't care about the number 1 overall pick. Moving on to the New York Giants in Philly to take on the Eagles. I am going to take the Eagles in this one. The Giants coming off a big win against the Indianapolis Colts, bouncing them from the playoffs. But I will take the Eagles because I just don't see this team playing good 2 weeks in a row. And, even if the Eagles have backups in, quarterback position's kind of a mess right now. It doesn't matter. The Giants are just a bad team, so I'll take the Eagles. Moving on, we have the Jaguars in Indianapolis to take on the Colts. I'm going to pick the Jaguars. Again, the Colts are out of the playoffs now. They have nothing to play for, and after last week's monstrosity of a game, their defense just allowed so many points to the Giants. Unreal there. I'm going to take the Jags. Again, Mac Jones is looking decent, and I'm rooting for him there. So we'll see if the Jaguars win. I'm picking them, but potential another upset there. Moving on to the Washington Commanders at the Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to take the Commanders here. Again, I don't know exactly how many starters are playing. I'm filming this video on Tuesday. I believe this video will be released on Tuesday as well. But again, I don't know all the facts. Just making these picks based off what I think will happen. And the Cowboys have nothing to play for. The Commanders, again, they just clinched the playoffs, their last game, but seeding, could still be a factor. So I'll take the Commanders there. Moving on, the Chicago Bears at the Green Bay Packers. I'll take the Packers. Again, the Bears have nothing to play for. The Packers, I believe, can still switch one spot there. They can't go as high as they thought they might have with that loss to the Vikings, but I think they could still maybe move down one, so they kind of need a win there. If not, they'll have backups in, but I think they still beat the Bears. Moving on to the New Orleans Saints playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll take the Buccaneers. Again, that Saints team, man, we were talking in week 2, week 3, the Saints might be a scary team. They were putting up big numbers, looking like the best team in the league. And boy, oh boy, did that not hold up. The Saints are potentially the worst team in the league right now at the rate they're playing. So I'm going to take the Buccaneers there. Moving on to the Bills against the Patriots. Yeah, call me crazy. I know this is a Buffalo channel, but I'll take the Patriots in this one. If you guys check out our panel for our predictions video for this game tomorrow, you guys will see a lot of us taking the Patriots as well, because the Bills are putting backups in probably after that first drive. They did say that Josh Allen will play at least a drive or two, but other than that, the backups will come out. And man, that Bills defense, when they got the backups in, lets up a lot of points. We've seen that. And the Patriots, almost beat the Bills at full strength a couple weeks ago. So I'm going to take the Patriots here again. Like I said, with the Titans, the players on the field don't care about the number one overall pick, right? It's more so the GMs and all that. So the players on the field have bonuses to make. The players on the field, want to win football games. And if you're playing a backup team, you should win. So I'll take the Patriots there. Moving on to our 425 slate, we have the Los Angeles Chargers in Las Vegas to take on the Raiders. Again, Chargers are in the playoffs in that wild card spot. I'm taking them to beat the Raiders here. Again, the Raiders are just a really bad team right now. Enough said about that one. Moving on, San Francisco 49ers at the Arizona Cardinals. I am going to take the Niners. Again, the Niners look pretty good against the Lions. It seems like they're still trying even though they're out of the playoffs. And the Cardinals have just kind of looked mid throughout the last little stretch of the season here. Again, the Cardinals were one of those teams where they started off against my Bills, right? And they look pretty good. I gotta say, they had the Bills beat in the first half, and the Bills came storming back. And then from then on, the Cardinals were a streaky team, right? They looked good some weeks. They looked really stagnant on offense other weeks. Be interesting to see what they do with Kyler Murray, if he sticks around or if they move on from him in the future. Moving on to the Chiefs at the Broncos. I'm taking the Broncos at home against, again, the Chiefs are going to be playing third stringers in this game, already confirmed, so Broncos are in a win and end situation. I got the Broncos winning and taking that last wild card spot. So sorry, Bengals. I projected you guys to win earlier in the video, but it's not going to matter. I think the Broncos win that one Sunday in the afternoon. And the next game we have is the Seattle Seahawks in Los Angeles to take on the Rams. I'm going to take the Rams in this one. The Seahawks are... Man, they're kind of limping it the rest of the way here. The Rams, again, still got those talented receivers, and Matthew Stafford's still slinging it. Seahawks are a little banged up too, so I'll take the Rams there. Our last 425 game will be the Dolphins at the Jets. This one, there's a little bit on the line for the Dolphins, nothing on the line for the Jets. Again, the Dolphins could still get in if the Broncos were to lose and the Dolphins were to win. So I'll take the Dolphins in this one. Again, I think this might be a blowout because the Jets really just don't have anything to play for, and the Dolphins have everything to play for. So it's one of those games where the Jets could try to play spoiler, but after seeing their performance against the Bills last week, that team looks about done. They got players saying they want to leave. They got players saying they don't know what the future holds. It's a mess over there with the Jets, unfortunately for them. But as a Bills fan, it is good to see a division rival kind of stay in the abyss, you could say. Ending our predictions, our last regular season projection of the season before we get into these playoff videos, we have Sunday Night Football for the number one seed in the NFC. Boy, oh boy, do we have a game here. Everyone will be watching this one. The Minnesota Vikings at the Detroit Lions. It's in Detroit. I've said multiple times I would love to play Detroit in the Super Bowl. I would also love to play Minnesota in the Super Bowl because they are also 0-4 like us in the Super Bowl. Both these teams I like. Both of these teams I'd be happy with if they were to win that number one seed. Again, the Lions, they were limping a little bit, but they managed to recover and put up a ton of points, but that defense is just allowing too many points. I'm going to take the Minnesota Vikings to steal this one on the road and push the Lions to the 5 seed in the playoffs. Might be a bold take, I know. I've been very high on the Lions this season, but I don't know. They've got injuries at running back. They've got a ton of injuries on defense. They're getting healthier each week, but it seems every time somebody gets back, somebody else gets injured. It's tough to pick against Addison and Jefferson on that Minnesota offense. It's just tough, but that's going to be a fun one. Again, I don't care who wins that game. I don't really care who wins any of these games, to be honest. It's going to be a fun week. Again, a lot of nothing burger games, but a lot of them that mean a lot as well. So potential last week for a lot of these teams. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Who you got winning? Who you got clinching the playoffs there? Who's going to be the last wild card team in the AFC? Who's going to get that number one seed in the NFC? Let me know in the comment section. Leave a like on this video, subscribe, and have a good one. Peace out, guys.